Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something that may be standing between you and the life you desire. Not luck, not circumstances, not other people. The things holding you back are within your control, but only if you recognize them. There are 6 mistakes people make, mistakes that keep them stuck, frustrated, and watching opportunities slip through their fingers. My hope today is that by the time we finish, you'll not only recognize these mistakes, but decide, right here and now, that they will no longer be a part of your life. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, waiting for the right time. We often hear people say, "I'll start when I'm ready," or "I'll take action when the timing is perfect." These words might sound comforting at first, but the truth is they are just another form of procrastination. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're waiting in vain. Perfection is an illusion, and timing is nothing more than an excuse. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Opportunities don't arrive with a neatly printed invitation or a convenient schedule. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment to take action, you'll soon find yourself looking back years from now, wondering why nothing has changed. The perfect time doesn't exist. It's not something you'll find in the future. It's right in front of you in this very moment. Right now, you have the power to decide that today is the day you begin. Right now is the right time, and that moment can be one that changes everything for you. But here's the catch. You have to take that step. You have to make that decision. Without action, no amount of wishing will ever bring the change you desire. Ask yourself, what are you waiting for? What exactly has to happen for you to begin? The longer you wait, the more you convince yourself that the time isn't right. But let me tell you something. Waiting for the right moment is a trap, because that moment will never come if you don't create it. The most successful people didn't wait for the stars to align or for everything to fall perfectly into place. They made a decision, they took action, and they committed to learning and growing along the way. Think about it for a second. How many things in life have you put off because you were waiting for the perfect time? You said, "I'll start when I have more money," or "I'll begin when I have more experience," or "I'll get to it once things settle down." But guess what? More money doesn't always come when you expect it. Experience doesn't magically appear on its own. And life, my friends, will never slow down or be any less busy. If you're waiting for the perfect circumstances, you'll wait forever. The truth is, every step you take, even the imperfect ones, will bring you closer to where you want to be. Life isn't about waiting for everything to line up. It's about showing up even when you don't feel ready. It's about embracing the uncertainty and moving forward despite the fears and doubts that might arise. The sooner you take action, the sooner you'll realize that the conditions for success are never as daunting as you thought. Every step you take teaches you something. Every decision you make builds momentum. We've all heard the phrase, "you learn by doing," but it's more than just a catchy saying. It's a fundamental truth about life. When you take action, you learn, you adapt, and you improve. If you're standing still, you're not learning anything new. If you're waiting, you're not growing. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who do. It comes to those who act, even when the conditions aren't perfect, and who are willing to take risks, make mistakes, and keep moving forward. So, what would happen if you stopped waiting? What would happen if you took one small step today toward your goals? Think about the progress you could make in just a few days, weeks, or months. The decision to start, no matter how small the step, can set in motion a series of events that lead to extraordinary growth. It doesn't matter if you feel ready or not. The key is to begin. When you decide to take that first step, everything else will begin to unfold in ways you couldn't have predicted. The right time is now, not some far-off day. But I understand taking that first step can be intimidating. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the idea of starting something new. Fear can hold you back and doubts can cloud your mind. But let me ask you this. What's scarier? Taking that first step and facing the uncertainty of what comes next, or staying exactly where you are and wondering, what if? What if you had started sooner? What if you hadn't waited for the right time? What if, instead of waiting, you had trusted yourself enough to begin? The truth is, there will always be challenges. There will always be reasons to put things off. But the people who achieve great things in life are the ones who take action despite the challenges. They don't wait for the perfect moment. because they know it doesn't exist. They create their own moments. They create their own opportunities by taking consistent action. So, let me remind you again. The right time is not tomorrow, and it's certainly not next year. It's today. It's right now. The moment you decide to take that first step, the path ahead begins to clear. Every step after that becomes easier, and every obstacle becomes something you learn from. Your future is waiting for you, but it won't wait forever. It's time to stop waiting for the right time. The time is now. Make the decision, take action, the rest will follow. Mistake number 2, letting fear make your decisions. Fear is a cruel master, and if you let it control your life, it will keep you confined to a small, comfortable space where nothing ever changes. Fear is that voice in your head, that whisper that tells you you're not good enough, that you might fail, that others will judge you or laugh at you. It creeps in at the worst times, making you second-guess yourself and your decisions. It creates a false sense of security, convincing you that staying where you are is safer than stepping into the unknown. But here's the truth you need to hear. If you allow fear to make your decisions, you'll never get anywhere. You'll stay stuck in a loop, never taking the leap that could lead you to your greatest potential. Now, don't get me wrong, fear is natural. Every single person you look up to, every person you admire for their success, has felt that same fear. Every entrepreneur, every leader, every achiever has been terrified at some point. The difference between them and you, between those who succeed and those who don't, is simple. They acted anyway. They didn't let fear stop them from pursuing their dreams. They didn't wait for the fear to disappear. They didn't wait for the conditions to be perfect. They took action, even when they were scared. And that's what made all the difference. Fear is not something that disappears with time, and it's not something you can completely overcome. So many people think that in order to be successful, they have to get rid of their fear, but that's a misunderstanding. The goal is not to remove fear, it's to learn how to move forward in spite of it. Because let's face it, fear will never go away completely. It will always be there, whispering in your ear, telling you to play it safe, telling you to avoid risks, but you can't let that voice control you. The key to success isn't in waiting for fear to subside. It's in deciding to act anyway. Fear is not a stop sign, it's a compass. It's pointing you to what matters most in your life, to the things that will push you forward and help you grow. Fear shows up when you're about to do something that challenges you, something that requires courage and strength. That's the moment when you need to take action. Fear is a signal that you are stepping into new territory, that you are about to experience growth and change. When you feel fear, it means you're on the right path. You're moving towards something bigger, something better. The goal is not to avoid fear. It's not to shy away from the uncomfortable moments that come with taking risks. The goal is to recognize fear for what it is, a sign of progress, a sign that you're pushing yourself towards something that truly matters. When you feel fear, understand that it is your invitation to step up, to rise above the doubts and the hesitation. The greatest opportunities in life come with fear attached to them. Whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or the fear of the unknown, it's all part of the process of growth. Think about the times in your life when you've experienced fear. Was it when you started something new? Was it when you stepped out of your comfort zone and pushed yourself beyond your limits? Those are the moments that shape you. Those are the moments that define your future. And when you face fear head on and move forward anyway, you build the resilience, confidence, and strength that you need to succeed. Every time you allow fear to stop you, you let go of your potential. You give up on the possibility of greatness. But every time you choose to move forward, despite the fear, you take one step closer to the life you want to live. The key is in taking action. It's in making the decision to move forward, even when you don't have all the answers, even when you don't feel fully prepared. Success is not about waiting for the fear to go away. It's about stepping into it, walking through it, and embracing it as part of the journey. When you let fear control you, you're allowing it to dictate your life. You're allowing it to determine your actions, your choices, and your future. But when you take control, when you choose to act in spite of fear, you take back the power. You no longer let fear make your decisions for you. You decide to take that leap, even when it feels uncertain. You decide to push through the fear because you know that on the other side of it is a life that's bigger, better, and more fulfilling than anything you've experienced so far. So ask yourself this: what are you afraid of? What's been holding you back? Maybe it's the fear of failure. Maybe it's the fear of rejection or criticism. Whatever it is, understand that you are capable of overcoming it. Fear will never disappear entirely, but it doesn't have to control your decisions. You can still take that first step. You can still make progress, even when fear is standing in your way. The successful people you admire didn't wait for fear to leave them. They didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. They took action despite the fear. And now they're living the life you dream about. You can do the same. You can face your fear, move forward, and create the life you want. Fear is not your enemy, it's your guide. It's a compass pointing you toward what matters. The goal isn't to avoid it, the goal is to act in spite of it. So take that step. Embrace the fear. Move forward. Your future is waiting. Mistake number 3, blaming others and circumstances. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others. We've all done it at some point. Blaming our boss for a lack of opportunities, blaming our parents for not giving us the right upbringing, blaming the economy for our struggles. It's a natural response when things aren't going the way we want them to. It's comforting to point the finger at something or someone else and say, if only this were different, then my life would be better. But let me tell you something. There is a dangerous cost to blame. When you place blame on others or your circumstances, you give away your power. You relinquish control over your own life and put it in the hands of others. And once you do that, you've lost the ability to change anything. The moment you blame someone or something else, you are telling yourself that you are not in control, that your fate is determined by others or by forces beyond your reach. But here's the truth that you need to hear. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to come and fix your problems for you. The only person who has the power to change your life is you. The only person who could take responsibility for your actions, your decisions, and your future is you. It's time to stop pointing fingers and start looking in the mirror. Taking responsibility is one of the most powerful things you can do for your life. It's the key to unlocking your potential and moving from a place of helplessness to a place of strength. When you take responsibility, you take control. You take control of your actions, your choices, and your future. You stop waiting for the perfect set of circumstances, the right time, or someone to give you permission to succeed. No one manages a schedule for you. You have to prepare yourself. You understand that the power has always been within you. It's never been outside of you. The only thing standing in your way is your own unwillingness to take responsibility for what you can control. Let's be clear about something. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself or feeling guilty. It means owning the situation you're in and acknowledging that you have the ability to change it. It's about stepping into your power and recognizing that you are the one who determines the course of your life. When you take responsibility, you stop making excuses and start making progress. You stop waiting for someone to change the situation and start changing it yourself. You begin to understand that you can't control everything, but you can control how you respond to what's happening around you. The reality is that life is full of challenges. There will always be obstacles, always be setbacks, always be moments when things don't go the way you want them to. But if you allow those challenges to dictate your life, if you continue to blame others and circumstances, you'll remain stuck in the same place, spinning your wheels. The only way to break free from that cycle is to take responsibility, to say, this is my life and I will shape it. I will take control and I will make things happen. When you do that, everything changes. Taking responsibility also means giving up the need to be a victim. We've all met people who constantly play the victim, who blame everyone else for their problems. But the truth is, being a victim gets you nowhere. It keeps you powerless and stuck. When you blame others for your situation, you're essentially saying, I have no control. I am at the mercy of others. But when you take responsibility, you shift your mindset from one of helplessness to one of empowerment. You realize that no one has the power to hold you back unless you allow them to. Look, I know it's tempting to blame external circumstances. Life isn't always fair, and there are things that happen that are beyond our control. But the way you respond to those challenges is entirely up to you. The moment you decide to take responsibility for your actions and your future, you take back your power. You begin to see opportunities where others see roadblocks. You start to see the world not as a place where things happen to you, but as a place where you can make things happen. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop waiting for someone else to give you what you want. The power is within you, but it's only when you take full responsibility for your life that you can tap into that power. If you want to improve your situation, if you want to create the life you dream of, it's going to take effort, determination, and most importantly, responsibility. You can't blame your circumstances or anyone else anymore. You've got to own your decisions, own your actions, and own the future you're creating. When you take responsibility, you become unstoppable. No longer will you be held back by your past, by your circumstances, or by other people's decisions. You will become the architect of your own future. You will make choices that align with your goals and your values. You will take control of your actions, your mindset, and your destiny. And that's when real change happens. That's when you start living the life you've always wanted. So I challenge you today. Stop blaming others. Stop blaming your circumstances. Stop blaming the economy, your upbringing, or anyone else. Take responsibility for your life. Take control and start making the changes you need to make in order to create the future you deserve. Because when you do, you will unlock a power within you that is stronger than any obstacle or challenge. You will realize that you have everything you need to succeed. It's all in your hands. Your future, your success, your happiness. Take responsibility and take control. The moment you do, everything changes. Mistake number 4, being busy instead of productive. We all know people who seem to be constantly on the move. They're always busy, always running from task to task, checking off boxes, answering emails, attending meetings, putting out fires. But here's the thing. Being busy doesn't mean you're being productive. Far too many people confuse movement with progress. They believe that if they're moving all day, if they're doing something every minute, that they're accomplishing something. But when the day ends, they find themselves in the same place, no closer to their goals. They've spent their time, but they haven't invested it. You see, productivity isn't about filling up your schedule with tasks and running around trying to do it all. It's about being effective. It's about focusing on the activities that truly move the needle, that take you closer to your vision, your goals, and your purpose. You can be busy all day long, but if you're not working on the right things, it doesn't matter how much you do. At the end of the day, you'll still be spinning your wheels, frustrated and unfulfilled. Think about it. How many times have you worked hard all day, only to realize that none of it has really moved you forward? You've answered 100 emails, made a dozen phone calls, checked off every item on your to-do list, but none of it has truly contributed to your long-term success. The truth is, if you don't take control of your time will take control of you. It will slip away day after day, leaving you wondering where it all went. And then, when you look back, you won't see progress. You'll just see a long list of tasks that were completed, but didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So let me ask you, are you busy or are you productive? Are you moving from one task to another, or are you focusing on the things that will truly make a difference in your life? The key to success is not in how much you do, but in what you choose to do. It's about prioritizing the tasks that align with your goals, that push you forward, and that create meaningful progress. And that takes discipline. It takes focus. It takes the ability to say no to distractions and yes to the things that truly matter. Too many people waste time on tasks that don't serve their bigger purpose. They get caught up in the small, unimportant things, filling their days with busy work that doesn't move the needle. They focus on the urgent, but not the important. They handle the emails, the phone calls, the meetings, but they don't spend enough time on the projects and actions actually create results. And as a result, they end up exhausted and frustrated, but still no closer to where they want to be. Productivity is about working smarter, not harder. It's about identifying the activities that will have the biggest impact and dedicating your time and energy to those. You don't need to work 12 hours a day to be productive. You need to focus on the activities that truly matter. That might mean saying no to certain tasks, letting go of the things that don't move you forward, and creating space. When you make the right choices with your time, when you're intentional about how you spend it, you'll find that you can achieve more in less time. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of everyday life. There's always something demanding your attention, always something pulling you in 1,000 different directions. But here's the reality. If you don't learn to control your time will control you. It will dictate your priorities, it will fill your day with meaningless tasks, and you'll look up one day and realize that you've wasted months or even years without making any real progress. You don't want that to happen. You don't want to look back and regret how you spent your time. That's why it's so important to get clear about your goals. What do you want to achieve? What is truly important to you? What will move the needle in your life? When you have clarity on what matters most, you can start making better decisions about where to spend your time. You'll stop wasting time on tasks that don't serve your goals. You'll stop getting caught up in the busy work and start focusing on the activities that will actually get you closer to where you want to be. The truth is, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's how we choose to use those hours that makes the difference. It's about being intentional with your time, not reactive. It's about taking control of your day, not letting your day control you. When you focus on the right things, when you prioritize your goals, and when you stop letting distractions take over, that's when real productivity happens. That's when you start making meaningful progress. You don't need to work harder, you need to work smarter. You need to focus on the tasks that move the needle, that create results, and that take you closer to your dreams. It's about quality, not quantity. It's about doing the right things, not doing everything. So ask yourself, what are you working on right now? Is it moving you closer to your goals? If not, it's time to refocus. It's time to stop being busy and start being productive. Take control of your time, take control of your life, and start making the progress you've been waiting for. The time is now, and the power is in your hands. Mistake number 5, surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Take a moment and look around at the people you spend your time with. The ones you interact with every day, the ones you talk to, the ones you share your life with. What kind of energy do they bring into your world? What kind of attitudes do they carry? Do they lift you up or do they drag you down? The truth is, the people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on who you become. They shape your thinking, influence your behavior, and ultimately dictate the direction of your life. Let me tell you something you've probably heard before. Energy is contagious. The attitudes you encounter every day are contagious. The mindsets of the people you allow into your life are contagious. You can't escape it. If you're surrounded by negativity, by complainers, by people who have accepted mediocrity, then it won't be long before that becomes your reality too. Their limited thinking, their lack of ambition, their comfort with settling for less will begin to seep into your own mindset. And before you know it, you'll find yourself thinking the same way. You'll start to believe that this is all there is, that maybe you should just accept things the way they are, that maybe you should lower your standards because after all, this is just the way life is. But here's the key. You don't have to accept that. You don't have to let other people's small thinking define your life. If you want to grow, if you want to reach new heights, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you need to surround yourself with the right people. You need to find people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to become better. If you want to run with the eagles, you can't be hanging out with the turkeys. You need to surround yourself with winners, with people who are moving forward, with people who have the same hunger and drive that you do. The people you associate with will influence your beliefs, your ambitions, and even your habits. If you're constantly around people who are stuck in a rut, who are always talking about how hard life is, how unfair the world is, how nothing ever goes right for them, guess what? You'll start to see the world through the same lens. Your vision will shrink, your dreams will feel farther away. You'll start to make excuses for why you can't achieve the things you want to achieve. You'll start to rationalize your failures, justify your inaction, and believe that success is something reserved for other people, not you. But the opposite is also true. If you surround yourself with positive, ambitious, driven people, they will raise your standards. They will show you what's possible, push you to think bigger, and motivate you to take action. They'll hold you accountable for your dreams and challenge you when you start to slack off. You see, when you hang around people who are constantly growing, who are relentlessly pursuing their goals, and who refuse to settle for anything less than their best, you start to see what's possible for yourself. They'll make you believe that if they can do it, so can you. They'll help you overcome your doubts, break through your fears, and push past your limits. This is why you must be intentional about the people you let into your life. You can't afford to allow negativity, pessimism, or small-minded thinking to take up space in your world. You need to actively choose the people who will challenge you, encourage you, and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. It's not just about who you're friends with. It's about who is shaping your life, your thinking, and your decisions. Come to find out that your perception and perception are the result. Here's a powerful truth. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a second. The attitudes, behaviors, and mindsets of those 5 people influence who you are. So ask yourself, are the people I spend the most time with making me better? Are they pushing me to be more, to do more, to give more? Or are they holding me back, encouraging me to settle and making me believe that the status quo is good enough? If you look at your circle and find that it's filled with people who aren't supporting your dreams, who aren't pushing you to become your best, then it's time to make a change. You don't have to cut people out of your life, but you need to be more intentional about the energy you allow to influence you. Spend less time with those who drain you and more time with those who inspire you. Seek out mentors, role models, and friends who are a few steps ahead of you, who are where you want to be, and who can show you the way forward. Your environment will determine your results. If you surround yourself with people who are striving for greatness, who are relentless in their pursuit of success, who refuse to settle for mediocrity, your life will begin to reflect that. You will rise to meet the standards of those around you. And the higher the bar they set, the higher you'll rise too. It's time to take a hard look at your inner circle. Are they helping you become the person you're meant to be? Are they pushing you to live up to your potential? Or are they content to let you stay where you are, trapped in your comfort zone? You are the sum of the people you allow into your life, so choose wisely. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, who challenge you, and who help you become the best version of yourself. When you do that, your life will begin to change in ways you never thought possible. Your energy will shift, your mindset will expand, and your future will look brighter than ever before. Mistake number 6, ignoring personal growth. Too many people are waiting for success to come to them, thinking that if they work hard enough or wish for it long enough, things will magically improve. But here's the truth. Your income, your success, your happiness, they will never exceed the person you are right now. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you want to achieve more, you have to grow into the person who is capable of handling that success. And let me tell you, the most valuable investment you will ever make is the one you make in yourself. Look around you at those who have achieved the kind of success you aspire to. They didn't get there by staying the same. They didn't get there by sticking with what they already knew, by stopping their learning and their development the moment they left school. No, they kept growing, they kept learning, they kept investing in themselves every single day. And that's the key. Growth is not optional. It's essential. If you want more, you have to become more. You can't expect your circumstances to change while you remain the same. It simply doesn't work that way. Think about it. How many people do you know who are stuck in the same place year after year, complaining about their situation, but not doing anything to improve themselves? They're waiting for something outside of them to change, but they haven't changed. They've stopped learning, they've stopped growing, and they've stopped investing in themselves. They expect life to improve while they stay the same, but it doesn't work that way. Disparaging your standard paradigm of measuring your success simply in the number on a chart. You only do that when you believe you should be. Your growth is the foundation for everything you want to achieve. The more you grow, the more your world expands. When you stop growing, your world starts to shrink. The world is constantly changing. New ideas, new technologies, new opportunities are emerging all the time. If you're not growing, you'll be left behind. If you're not learning, you're becoming obsolete. It's as simple as that. The people who succeed in life are the ones who continue to push themselves, who are hungry for knowledge, who never stop striving to improve. They're the ones who are always seeking new skills, new ideas, new perspectives. They're the ones who understand that the greatest asset they have is themselves, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to improve. What does it take to grow? It takes commitment. It takes discipline. It takes a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone and face the things that scare you. It means reading the books, attending the seminars, seeking out mentors who have already walked the path you want to follow. It means constantly asking yourself, what's next? What more can I learn? What new skill can I develop? Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens on purpose, through consistent effort and intentional action. But here's where most people go wrong. They think that once they leave school, the learning stops. They think that once they've got their degree or once they've mastered a particular skill, that's enough. But learning is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong journey. The most successful people in the world are also the most curious. They never stop learning. They know that knowledge is power, and the more they know, the more they can achieve. The more you learn, the more doors open for you. The more you grow, the more opportunities will come your way. It's easy to get complacent, especially when things are going well, but that's exactly when you need to double down on your growth. When things are good, that's when you have the chance to build the foundation for even greater success. You have the opportunity to learn the skills that will propel you forward when the challenges come. You have the chance to develop the mindset that will carry you through difficult times. But if you stop growing, you stop evolving. And when you stop evolving, you start to fall behind. So let me ask you, what are you doing today to invest in your growth? Are you reading the books that will expand your knowledge? Are you seeking out the mentors who can guide you on your journey? Are you learning the skills that will set you apart from the crowd? If you're not, then you're missing out on the greatest opportunity you have, the opportunity to become the best version of yourself. Personal growth is the key to everything you want. It's the key to your success, your happiness, your fulfillment. If you want more out of life, you have to become more. You have to invest in yourself day in and day out. And when you do, you'll begin to see the world open up in ways you never imagined. Opportunities will present themselves. Challenges will become stepping stones. And you will become the person capable of achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. So don't wait. Don't sit around hoping that things will improve. Make the decision today to invest in yourself. Read the books, take the courses, seek out the mentors, develop the skills. And as you do, you'll find that your world expands. Your income will grow, your success will multiply, your happiness will soar. The best part, it will all come from the inside out. Because when you grow, everything around you grows with you. And that's where the real magic happens. So what do we do with this? Now that we know the mistakes, what's next? I'll tell you what's next. It's a decision. You decide today that these mistakes will not own you. You decide to stop waiting, to stop letting fear dictate your life. You decide to take responsibility, to be productive instead of just busy, to surround yourself with the right people, and to invest in your own growth. Because at the end of the day, success is not about luck. It's about choices. And the choices you make today will determine where you stand tomorrow. The question is, what will you choose?